Welcome to another edition of Noizemakers, where today we will have our most powerful show ever. That's right, folks. We're joined today by internationally renowned South African scientist, Dr. Toure Muhammad, who will bring exclusively to Noizemakers his original cure for the deadly genocidal virus AIDS. He will share with us his experiences in bringing the vaccine to the market and some of the challenges that he faced along the way in developing the vaccine. Dr. Muhammad, welcome to Noizemakers, and thanks for choosing Chicago as the city to make this historic announcement to the world.
It is an honor to be on your show. We have big fans in South Africa. It is good to be back in Chicago. This is truly one of the great cities in the world.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Black. Well, start off by telling the people, man, exactly how long has the vaccine been in existence?
Well, I've been in many projects throughout.
Hi, this is Tom Brokaw of BCT News. We're sorry to interrupt your previously scheduled program, but there are reports of a missing white girl in Wyoming. That's right, a missing white girl. 23-year-old Bethany Winkdale went jogging near Rosa Coelho around 6:15 p.m. local time yesterday. There's a fear in this small town that she may have been abducted. Our Demetrius Jackson from our Cheyenne affiliate is on the scene.
Yes, Tom. The police investigation and search is underway. The city of Rosa Coelho, as well as the entire state police department of Wyoming, the state's remaining reservists that have not already been deployed to Iraq, the FBI, and some California Coast Guards have been flown in, leaving our nation's borders just a bit vulnerable. But the department has made it clear that they will spare no expense in locating this young white girl who has been missing for 29 hours now. All day long, we've heard stories how much of an impact Bethany had on this small town 2 hours outside of Cheyenne. Our Isis Tillman has this report on Bethany and the impact her disappearance has had on this tight-knit, Christian, morally superior community.
26-year-old Bethany Winkdale's world was just looking up. She has made heroic strides since a 2001 tragedy where her one-bedroom apartment caught on fire in a mysterious toaster accident. Bethany emerged from counseling stronger than ever, beginning her meteoric rise to assistant shift manager at Walmart.
Bethany was always eager to help people, especially when she was at work. I will always hear her say to customers, "Hi, may I help you?" She usually had a smile on her face too. She was really a remarkable woman. Humanity has suffered a great loss.
We always knew she was special. Ever since she was young, when she was 4 years old, she taught herself how to ride a bike all by herself. Isn't that special?
It is special. Bethany was a special girl, according to every single person that ever met her. The community has involved themselves in the search, some even taking off from work to try to bring Bethany back home to Rosa Coelho.
Demetrius, do you know anything about the suspects in the case so far?
Only that they are black or brown. That much is absolutely certain, Tom. Nothing else has been issued so far, but the president plans to issue a statement tomorrow during his weekly radio address before returning to his Crawford Ranch for 3 weeks for his monthly vacation.
That's interesting stuff. Such a dangerous world out there. You'd think something could be done to stop these predatory monsters. And if you could tell us, where was Bethany last seen?
Tom, Bethany went for a jog about 6:15 yesterday afternoon. According to her neighbor, she briefly stopped, chatted to this neighbor before jogging off, and no one has reported seeing her since.
We'll all keep Bethany in our prayers tonight. We'll light a candle and we'll shed a tear. Thanks, Demetrius. We now return you to your previously scheduled program. While not as important as this one, we will break in immediately if we gain any more irrelevant and trivial information about this major story coming out of Wyoming. I'm Tom Brokaw. Thank you and good night.
What's going on, everybody? This is Toure Muhammad, coming to you live from the underground of Chicago, Illinois. Welcome to another edition of Noizemakers, the talk show of hip-hop, politics, and entertainment. On this month's show, we're going to explore a subject that's very dear to my heart. We're looking at some of the dreadful goings-on in media these days in terms of some of the stories that are really impacting people, but they usually don't get access to until it's too late. So we want to bring in a very rich and diverse group of guests this week that are going to share some of their experiences with you on some of the things that they're trying to do to kind of balance out these things that we see in media and some of the things that you at home can try and, help improve the situation. So thanks again for joining us here again on another edition of Noisemakers. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Here with Ms. Leanne Caston on the editorial board of the Chicago Media Watch. Tell the people here watching at home a little bit about the organization, your background, and what you do.
That's a big question.
We got time.
Background. Okay, let's start with background. I started out actually as a teacher in Chicago Public Schools. I actually had a gifted program. I actually trained kids who were going on the stage. We did our own theater. We had wonderful, wonderful moments. We had parents coming in to help us. We really were involved. It was at Kenwood Academy.
Okay.
I moved out of the Hyde Park area, came to the suburbs, and then had to completely reorient my life. And I did I started to write. And I started to write for something called the Suburban Trib. The Chicago Tribune had suburban sections. So we had a North Shore section and a far south section and a far west section. And the Chicago Tribune started publishing this, and I started working for the Chicago Tribune and the Suburban Trib office. And from then on, it's a long story how I got into environmental issues. But I started writing more and more about the toxics that were beginning to affect our lives and causing our cancers and causing our birth defective children. And I started writing more and more about the young men and women coming back from Vietnam who were exposed to Agent Orange and dioxin.
Here with Toure Muhammad today, editor and publisher of Bean Soup Times. Toure, thanks for coming on with us today, man.
Absolutely.
First off, for those who may not be familiar with Bean Soup Times for some strange reason, tell people a little bit about your product and how you got started and what your motivation was behind starting Bean Soup Times.
Okay. Man, well, basically, Bean Soup Time is the fastest growing, widest circulating, most popular black-owned fake newspaper to be found anywhere on the earth.
For sure.
Now, what we do is we mix entertainment news and satirical news. So any given day, you may pick up Bean Soup Times and read about the return of Black Jesus who couldn't go in a cab and resurrect somebody because the cab wouldn't stop and pick him up.
Wow.
You know, he got arrested for false identification because he looked like the usual suspect.
Right.
You may read something as funny as a black woman who, because she was light-skinned, she thought she was cuter than she actually was.
Right,
you know,
right,
just
right.
for no other reason.
Right,
she was
right.
just a really, she was an average-looking black woman.
Right.
So just all kind of stuff, man. We like to have fun. We like to mix a combination of fake news and real events and pretty much be like the mixture of Dick Gregory and the Jon Stewart with the Daily Show in print format.
Word. That's dope, man. That's dope.
Know. And I really got motivated to do it because there's a need, I think, for humor that has a satirical base. And when I say satirical, I mean that it looks at the social and political issues that we live in and tries to, in a humorous way, make sense out of it and make us see how ridiculous certain things are.
Right.
You know?
That's cool. How long has Bean Soup Times been in existence now?
Man, we started with an email in March of 2001.
Okay.
And we went from there to a website. Then we grew into a print format, going 6 times a year. And now we're coming out 12 times a year.
Oh, cool.
In print format, at the website, and man, just trying to do it.
Most definitely. You doing more than trying, brother. Y'all succeed. For real.
Yes, sir.
I'm editor and publisher at the Chicago Reporter, and I've been at the Reporter for about 8 years. Prior to that, I was a reporter at the Daily Herald out in Arlington Heights, doing just regional news trends at the paper there. And prior to that, I was in journalism school at the Medill School of Journalism at Northwestern University.
Right.
So I've moved from being a reporter to being an editor to now mostly doing a lot of the fundraising and administration